Welcome back to Beauty Marks Podcast. My name is Elizabeth Savillon, and thank you for joining me on this week's episode. This week is exciting for a lot of people because it is Thanksgiving and the holidays are around the corner, and this is honestly one of my favorite holidays. But I do know, however, that this is a rough year for a lot of people, and the holidays is not always something that people look forward to, especially because of this year. Some people lost jobs, family members, and, throughout all of that, I thought it would be right to talk about gratitude and how to be grateful in this season. For Thanksgiving every year, my family goes around and says what they're really, truly grateful for. And this is something that I feel like we practice, especially on Thanksgiving. Everybody mostly talks about that on Thanksgiving. But is that something that you play out throughout your whole life? Like throughout other days that are not in November, do you practice gratitude? Do you look at your life and talk about the things that you're grateful for in different seasons of your life? So last week I posted on my social media about looking back last year and talking about how, something that I have talked about on this podcast is me moving back home, and how at that moment I didn't see how this was going to bless my life truly. But now a year later, I'm like, wow, like if I would have not had my family around and I wouldn't have moved back home, that my life would have been completely different. I don't know what would have happened. Because of COVID, losing my job, and just my mental health, and just emotionally being drained and just not feeling okay. This past year has honestly had its ups and downs, but I know that I couldn't have done it without being here, So like I feel like God literally like set everything up and turned it all for my good, without me even knowing. And so I actually had a lot of people write to me and say, I can relate to your story. Like I feel like we don't realize the things like until we look backwards, and we're like, wow, like I'm grateful that one thing did happen, because if that didn't happen, then that thing wouldn't have happened. And that's all perspective, because in the moments that we're going through hard times, like I feel like gratitude is the least of the things that we focus on, because we either focus on trying to get the solution, or if other people's lives look like, wow, how do they have that, but I don't. And especially with the holidays being here, I wanted to talk about, being grateful for where you are, and also what you have gone through, and just grateful for the basic things of life, especially this year. If you are healthy, if you have a job, if you have a home, if you have family members or loved ones around you, you are blessed. Like you are so blessed, because those things, for a lot of people, they don't have them. Even if you have peace in your home, if you're united with the people around you, if you have good mental health, like if you are healthy, all those things are so essential, especially to this year. And so I found myself thinking about what are the things that I am truly grateful for, and reminding myself to do this not only on Thanksgiving, not only now, but like throughout times that are not like when it's like when you're going through hard stuff, it's like that's the time to really sit back and be like, okay, wait, yes, this area is not okay, or this is happening, but I have so much more to be grateful for. And with Thanksgiving, personally, I am so grateful for my family. Always will be there, literally my number one supporters. I am also so grateful for my close friends that are so supportive, and that they're honestly like my family as well, just because I feel like even having 1 to 2 people that you can truly count on is worth so much more. And I feel like I've truly understood what friendship is, especially this past year. And just family, and the importance of that, and unity. And there's definitely been challenges, but I am so truly grateful for for what I do have with them and my home and just my parents and all they're doing with their business. And then for this podcast, being able to do this every week and truly be able to bless other people's lives, because I know that this is such a vulnerable space. However, through the stories that other people have shared, and my story, I know I have been able to help other people, and that makes me so grateful for taking the first step and taking the leap to even start this. So I'm grateful for people that tune in weekly for for these episodes. And I feel like just looking at your life as like you're complete and not lacking anything. One of my favorite quotes that is literally something that I turn to and is like such a reminder for me is gratitude turns what we have into enough. So it's like wherever you're at, whatever you have is what you need, and you are whole in that. You do not need anything else. Like you end up realizing that you don't need, if it's materialistic stuff, don't need it. Like all these things that you feel like you need in your life, it's like, no, but gratitude really turns the perspective of, you know what? I have this and this is enough. This is good. This is great. I'm so thankful for this. Have you ever thought about what are the things that you even have now that you used to pray for? Like things that you would literally be on your knees, like, Lord, please, like if this happens, like if it was like either for your mental health to be okay, your family to be united, was it a job, was it your health, was it just something going on very unknown, was it just a lot of disorder, was it a relationship that was breaking, or all these things that you would pray for that now you have. It's like these are the things that we have to remember. So, and even this year, what are the things that you've overcome this year, that you've gone through this year itself, so being grateful that you've made it this far. During the holidays, I know that not everybody has a family that you also want to be around. Maybe there's some family that you're like, I'll see you twice a year, but that's it. But it's like at the end of the day, like those people, if anything, that this year that has taught me of how important it is to have others around us, and also, with wherever you're at, being grateful for the position that you have. If it's like you have a job, you don't love it, but this is the job that you have, being grateful for that. Being single during the holidays can sometimes be rough for other people, seeing other people in relationships and being married and all these things like can bring out the feelings of like, man, why isn't that me? But instead it's like looking at your life as like completely grateful for where you're at, because this is where you need to be, and being grateful for the things that you do have. Like the perspective shift is always going to be something that you have to remind yourself. And I've talked about this topic on my podcast a few times already throughout like my podcast. And I feel like it's even helped me to remind myself, like, Liz, you have to be grateful for what is happening right now. Like what I'm grateful for right now is more than enough. I have more than enough in every single area. So I just wanted to share that with you guys. I really hope that this week you guys really spend time with the people that you love. You tell people how much they mean to you. You show up, you are present in wherever you're at, and just are grateful for where you are. There are people that you can bless during this season. There are people that you can, if you have more than enough, you can truly bless and help others during this season. So enjoy this week with your family, your loved ones, and cook up some good food. I'm so excited for what we're going to be cooking. That's like the one day that is like very important to my family and my household is Thanksgiving. So I'm honestly so excited for this year and just being able to celebrate together, play games, have music, and just really be present. So I hope you guys enjoyed today's episode, and don't forget to subscribe to this podcast, leave a review if you haven't. Stay tuned for next week's episode with a special guest. So I'm really excited for that, and I hope you guys have a great week.